Have you ever imagined being dead and still being able to hear someone crying for you? It's not a metaphor. It's not an exaggeration. It's exactly what many people report after going through a near-death experience. The body is still, the heartbeat stops, consciousness fades away, and in the midst of this absolute silence, a voice breaks through everything. A familiar voice. A desperate plea from someone begging you to come back. Those who have experienced this describe a feeling that is impossible to ignore, the sensation that, even on the other side, we are still connected to those we love here. Does the soul hear, even when the body is silent? Is there a frequency beyond life, where emotions continue to live? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover now may surprise you deeply, and perhaps change the way you see death and love. And tell me in the comments, have you ever experienced something similar? Or do you know someone who has? What follows may reveal something that many feel, but few have the courage to share. And as that voice echoed, breaking the silence of what seemed like the end, something inside me refused to go away. It was as if the love that came from the other side pulled me back, as if the pain of those who cried for me created an invisible bridge between two worlds. And maybe you, who are listening to me now, have felt this too. This kind of connection that goes beyond any logic, any explanation. If this subject makes sense to you, leave here in the comments what touched you the most. Maybe a memory, a similar experience, or even a question that has been hammering in your mind. I read everything, and your participation is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with stories like this. If you felt something different listening to this, take the opportunity to like the video. It helps a lot. And subscribe to the channel to continue exploring with me these mysteries that science still cannot explain, but that the heart recognizes immediately, because what comes next in the sequence is even stronger. It's hard to put into words what happens when your mind goes silent, your heart stops, and yet something inside you remains awake. For those who have had a near-death experience, this sensation is more than real. It's transformative. Many describe the moment of disconnection from the body as a relief, a sudden lightness, as if all pain, weight, or tension simply evaporated. The body is there, motionless, but consciousness that seems to grow wings. It's like floating, hovering over your own existence, seeing everything from the outside, as if you were watching the backstage of your own life. But what's most impressive about these accounts is not just the panoramic view of the scene, nor the fact that you recognize yourself there, lying on a cold stretcher surrounded by doctors. What makes a deep impression is the ability to hear. Yes, listening, even without any recorded brain activity, even without any physical stimulation, hearing words, laments, conversations, and not just from the medical team, but from those who were there outside, in prayer or despair. One woman said that even in a coma she was able to repeat the exact words her mother said as she cried at the foot of her bed. Another, during a cardiac arrest, heard the doctor say in a low voice, "This one won't come back." And when he woke up, he looked at the same professional with teary eyes, saying, "You shouldn't have given up on me." These accounts defy logic, deconstruct certainties, and force us to rethink what it really means to be alive. If the brain was turned off, where did these perceptions come from? Being conscious without being physically present, it is an experience that challenges our ideas about mind, spirit, and reality. The hidden truth behind these stories is not only spiritual, it is also emotional. It reveals the profound impact that human connection can have, even when all seems lost. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because what these people reported after this goes beyond hearing. It involves feelings that no test is capable of recording. Comment here. I feel like this is real. Among all the accounts of those who have had a near-death experience, there is one moment that is repeated with a force that is almost impossible to ignore. The moment when the person recognizes the voice of the person crying for them. It was not just any sound. It was not a distant noise or something vague. It was something intimate, familiar, full of raw emotion. A mother calling her child by name with a choked voice. a partner saying, "Please come back to me," a friend who may never have said this in life, now begging not to lose that presence. This recognition goes beyond any rational explanation. It is not just the sound. It is the emotional charge behind it. It is as if, in that space between life and what comes after, the soul could identify love in its purest form, without filters, without barriers. And that's when something changes. Many describe this moment as a turning point. Up until that point, the experience had been a journey of observation, contemplation, perhaps even peace. But when they hear someone crying for them, someone they love or who, sometimes they didn't even know loved them so much, everything changes. What was once a desire to move on, to surrender to the light or silence, turns into a decision to return. Not out of fear of death, but because of the intensity of the connection, because of the other person's pain, because of something that cannot be seen in tests, but can be felt deep within the soul. The impact of knowing that you are important to someone. This silent revelation, this glimpse into human emotion, leaves a deep mark on those who return. Many of these people come back different, with a new mindset about their relationships, about what really matters. It's not just a memory, it's a subtle wound that doesn't hurt but transforms. Because after hearing someone cry for you on the other side, it's impossible to continue life the same way. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject. Because what happens right after this turning point reveals truths that can change the way we see the very meaning of existence. Write it down. I felt it just by listening. What is most striking about these accounts of those who came back from the dead is not only what they felt, but what they were able to remember with precision. Many describe details of their surroundings, conversations between doctors, prayers said by family members, even while their bodies were unconscious, often hooked up to machines, with no sign of significant brain activity. It is as if their consciousness was there, but on a parallel plane, observing everything from the outside. And most strikingly, listening. Not figuratively, but really listening. One patient said that after coming out of a coma, he looked at his wife and said, "You cried and said you weren't ready to lose me. I heard it all." She burst into tears, because only the two of them knew that it had been said in a low voice when no one else was around. In another case, a man reported hearing the sound of the heart monitor fading, and the doctor sadly saying that the chances were slim. When he returned, he repeated word for word what was said. And not only that, he said he heard his daughter begging, between sobs, for him not to leave yet. "Dad, come back to me just a little longer." These words were not generalities, they were exact, recognizable, full of emotional impact. Revelations like these call into question what we understand by consciousness, perception, and even life. Science seeks explanations, hypotheses of residual brain activity, reconstructed memories, or simple coincidences. But as cases pile up and patterns repeat themselves, doubts grow. Is there something beyond matter? Is there a layer of reality that we have not yet been able to measure? Because the hidden truth that emerges from these stories cannot be ignored. The mind may fail, but consciousness, this deeper journey, seems to continue. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject. Because what these people feel when they return goes beyond memories. It's a complete transformation in the way they see the world, time, and their very mission for being here. Comment here. I believe that consciousness goes beyond. What these experiences make clear is that true love does not end when life ends. It continues to vibrate at some frequency that science cannot yet capture, but that the soul immediately recognizes. When someone returns from a near-death experience saying that they heard the cry of a loved one, what is being revealed there is not only an extraordinary phenomenon, but a hidden truth that transcends time, matter, and even the very notion of death. The bond between two souls is not broken by physical absence, it remains, communicates, resonates. It is as if there were an invisible line of emotional energy that continues to be active, even when all vital signs disappear. These stories are not only touching, they have a transformative impact. They make us rethink the decisions we make, every day, the way we relate to those we love, and what we fail to say out of pride, fear, or distraction. Because in the end, it is this connection that speaks loudest. It is not what we accumulate or what we achieve. It is what we feel and how much we share it. There are those who come back from the brink of death saying that they did not see a light or a tunnel, but rather the face of the one they love, crying, calling out, insisting that they not leave. This changes everything. The mindset of those who return is never the same. There is a sense of mission, of gratitude, and above all of urgency to live with more presence and truth. Because if there is something that survives the death of the body, it is not memories or images. It is love. It is the pain of the other that calls you back. It is the silent connection that screams from within. It is this invisible force that in some way still unexplained seems to cross the threshold of life and touch the essence of who we really are. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because understanding this connection can completely change the way we see the purpose of being here. Comment here. I believe in love that transcends all. If you've come this far, it's because something inside you also feels that there is more between heaven and earth than we can explain. And that's exactly why I continue to bring you these reports, these reflections, and these stories that remind us of what really matters. If this content touched you in any way, take the opportunity to leave a comment saying, "I'm with you until the end." This way I know who really lived this journey with me until the very last minute. Like the video, it really helps to keep this space alive and the message circulating. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now to continue following this journey that I guarantee is only just beginning. There is a video here on the side that complements everything we talked about today. Click and continue with me there. The conversation is not over yet.